In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this Amigurumi ghost. Hi, I'm Nicole Chase and welcome to my channel. I design fun and colorful amigurumi crochet patterns that are great for any skill level. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this beginner-friendly ghost. The first thing that you'll need is some white yarn. In this video, I'll be using Parfait Chunky and a 5mm crochet hook. As you can see, I've also made this pattern in a variety of other yarns. This is worsted weight yarn with a 4mm crochet hook. And this is a jumbo yarn, Sweet Snuggles from Michaels, and I used a 9mm crochet hook. You will also need a small amount of pink yarn for embroidery. You will also need safety eyes. So depending on the yarn that you use, choose a size that suits that yarn. For the worsted weight yarn, I used 9mm safety eyes. For Parfait Chunky, I used 12mm safety eyes. And for Sweet Snuggles, I used 21mm safety eyes. You'll also need polyfill stuffing, scissors, a yarn needle, and a stitch marker. Let's get started. First, we will begin with round 1 and start with a magic ring. So wrap the yarn around your fingers toward you twice. Then insert your hook under the first strand of yarn, pulling up the back piece of yarn and twist. Then yarn over and pull through. Carefully remove your fingers and you have your magic ring. And now we'll work 6 single crochets in the magic ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And pull the magic ring tight to close. And at this point, I like to secure it with a knot. Now moving on to round 2, we will start with 2 single crochets in the first stitch. So work those first 2 single crochets. And then you can go ahead and add your stitch marker into the first stitch from this round. And continue on with 2 single crochets in every stitch around. And at the end of round 2, you'll have a total of 12 stitches. Moving on to round 3, remove your stitch marker. Work 2 single crochets into the first stitch. And replace your stitch marker into the first stitch of this round. Then work 1 single crochet into the next stitch. And continue that around with 2 single crochets into the next, followed by 1 single crochet into the next. At the end of round 3, you'll have a total of 18 stitches. Moving on to round 4, remove your stitch marker. Work 2 single crochets into the first stitch and replace your stitch marker in the first stitch of this round. And then work 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. And repeat that around with 2 single crochets into the next stitch, followed by 1 single crochet in each of the next 2. And at the end of round 4, you'll have a total of 24 stitches. Moving on to round 5, remove your stitch marker. Work your first single crochet and replace your stitch marker. And you will work 1 single crochet in every stitch around, and you will do this for rounds 5 through 11. So continue with 1 single crochet in every stitch around for rounds 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. You can go ahead and pause the video and come back once you've finished round 11. And here we are at the end of round 11 with a total of 24 stitches. And now we'll be working on the little ruffle that goes around the bottom of the ghost. So for this round, we will be working in the front loops only. Remove your stitch marker. And again, working in the front loop only, work 1 single crochet into the next stitch. And go ahead and replace your stitch marker. And again, front loop only, leaving the back loop unworked. Working in the next stitch, work 2 double crochets into that next stitch. And again, that's in the front loop only. And then 1 single crochet into the front loop of the next stitch. We'll then continue this around to create the little ruffle around the bottom of the ghost. So 1 single crochet into the front loop of the next stitch, 2 double crochets into the front loop of the next, and 1 single crochet into the front loop of the next. Again, 1 single crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 single crochet. And at the end of round 12, you'll have a total of 32 stitches. Now we will be adding our safety eyes. So you can go ahead and pull your yarn up a bit and set your hook to the side. And we'll be inserting our safety eyes between rounds 6 and 7 with about 4 stitches between each eye. So I'm using Parfait Chunky for this ghost and a 12mm safety eye. And once you're happy with the placement of those eyes, go ahead and put on your backings. Now we will move on to round 13. So go ahead and replace your hook and pull your yarn tight. And for round 13, we will now be working in the unworked back loops from round 11. So remove your stitch marker, and again, you're working behind in the back loops. So you can fold the ruffle down And we will start with a single crochet 2 together. And replace your stitch marker. And work 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. And again, we're working in the unworked back loops from round 11. And repeat that around with a single crochet 2 together, followed by 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. If you've done some of my tutorials before, you may expect that I use the invisible decrease. But for this round, working in the back loops, I find it a bit easier to just use a traditional decrease. But as always, you can use whatever decreasing method that you prefer. And at the end of round 13, you'll have a total of 18 stitches. Moving on to round 14, remove your stitch marker and work a single crochet 2 together and replace your stitch marker. And then work 1 single crochet into the next stitch. And continue that around with a single crochet 2 together, followed by 1 single crochet into the next stitch. And at the end of round 14, you'll have a total of 12 stitches. At this point, we can now fill our ghost with stuffing. So pull your loop up a bit and set your hook aside. And like always, remember to pull your stuffing apart and go ahead and fill your ghost. Once your ghost is completely filled, we can move on to round 15. So go ahead and put your hook back in and pull your yarn tight. Remove your stitch marker. And you will be working a single crochet 2 together all the way around. So go ahead and work your first single crochet 2 together and replace your stitch marker and repeat that around. And at the end of round 15, you'll have a total of 6 stitches. So at this point, we are going to remove the stitch marker and then cut your yarn, leaving a long tail for sewing. Then yarn over and pull all the way through to secure your yarn. Now, using your yarn needle, thread your yarn through and weave in and out of the final stitches from round 15. And then pull tight to close. Tie a knot. And hide your ends inside. And cut off any excess. So that finishes our ghost. Now we'll move on to the embroidery. For the cheeks, you will need a small amount of pink yarn, and we'll be embroidering the cheeks between rounds 7 and 8 over 2 stitches just below the outer edge of the eye. And to do that, you will just insert your yarn needle under 2 stitches. And again. And since this ghost is a little larger, I think I will make 3 loops around. And we'll do the same on this side. Now, since my yarn tail over here is a bit short, I'm going to cut the yarn on this side. And then I will guide it through to meet my other end. And tie those 2 ends together. And hide the ends inside. And I'll cut off any excess. And that completes our ghost. And that completes the tutorial for this amigurumi ghost. I hope you've enjoyed this video. For more patterns and tutorials, be sure to visit my website at www.thenicolechase.com. Thanks for watching.